I was thinking about the gaming industry today. I was just at work and I was just thinking about, I seen somebody talk about GTA 6 and they think I said something about it might come out digital only, you know, and then 6 months later it come out physical. I don't, really, that ain't gonna, people still buy it, because people's jacked up you know, to play that game. Uh, it's just that I was thinking, they said something about they might want $100 for it and stuff. But I was actually thinking that they're going to push these games up, you guys, to $80. I really do. And here's why I think they will is because it just seems like they're pretty much tapped out on as far as who plays video games and who buys these expensive consoles. You know what I mean? Consoles are getting more expensive, and Sony's jacking up the prices. Nintendo's, their little Switch 2 costs a lot more money. And now I was at work thinking about, I'm jacked up for February 27th because I'm going to buy Resident Evil Requiem. Comes out February 27th. It's February 4th. So while I was dropping this video, I was sitting there saying to myself, I ain't going to lie. How often do you buy a video game compared to, when you actually, because you don't buy that many video games. The average person don't buy that many video games. I don't think. Some people do. That's because that's all they do is game, I guess, maybe. And they want to put up, some people, the YouTubers, they want to put up, their thoughts on it and stuff, which is fine. But I was just thinking, let's just say hypothetically, I think what is games costing? $70 now? They're inching them things up to 80. They're gonna see how far they can push you guys to just to see, how much they can squeeze out of you. But I was thinking about myself, I was like, okay, Vic, you want that Resident Evil 9 called Requiem, right? So I was sitting there saying to myself, well, how much are you willing to pay? So I just checked the prices. It says it's going to be $69.99, which I kind of thought it would be because, I'm going to buy it. And then they said the deluxe edition will be $80. So, I don't want the deluxe edition. I just want the regular one. But I was just thinking about, people that's going to get that GTA 6. Let's just say hypothetically they are going to charge you $100 for that. People will buy that because they want to play that game. But I don't want that game because I'm not jacked up for that game at all. But I was sitting there, I was working. You know how you guys get random thoughts in here, and I was sitting there saying to myself, I said, Vic, you don't buy that many video games anymore, so because I got a backlog of games I still have yet to play. Actually, I'm actually getting through these backlogs, man. But if it's something that you like to play and it's something you really want, are you gonna wait or are you gonna wait till sale? I can't wait on the sale because I want it now. So I would want it as soon as it come out. So what I'm saying is that if you can get it at $69.99 or $79.99, because I just told you about the deluxe edition, then would you be willing to wait till November? Because if you wait till November, you got Black Friday coming up. So if you can wait from, January, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, that's, it's what, 9 months away? Let's see. Let's say March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, that's 9 months away. So if you can wait 9 months, you can get a Black Friday. So let's just say hypothetically you wait 9 months, or you can say to yourself, you know what? I want that game, but I don't really want it. I don't want it right now because I have a backlog of games that, that I can play, and it's going to be there when I'm ready to play it. So you can you could either buy it when it first comes out, which I am, technically, I really don't have to buy it when it first comes out because, to be honest with you, I got a couple Resident Evil games I have not beat yet. So it would make more sense for me not to buy it. But, just sitting there, just thinking about, I just want the game. Because sometimes I have a knack of doing that, and sometimes I have a knack of doing that. But I was sitting there thinking about that. So what I'm saying is to sum this up, the price of video games, they are getting up there. $69 and so much cent. But I think eventually they're going to try to jack them bad boys up to $80, but they can get away with it. But the thing I'm thinking about is that, how many games do you buy a year? That's what you need to ask yourself. Because last year I only bought like 3 games, and all 3 of them I ain't even beat yet. So technically I really should not buy this game. See what I'm saying? So you could save yourself some money if you would just play the games that you got and then go ahead and get that game if there's a sale. Because I'm telling you, man, Resident Evil 9 is going to be on sale. It's going to be on sale and you get a decent price. It might be $49.99. Was it $69.99 now? And $79.99 for the deluxe. So if you have patience, you can get that probably for, $69.99, $79.99. So they'll try to put it in the middle somewhere when they put a sale on there. See what I'm saying? So, but anyway, it's just a quick video. I was just thinking about the video game industry because, consoles are getting expensive. I bet a lot of y'all out there are kind of glad that you bought your consoles already, or some of you have not bought any consoles because you don't like the consoles that's out there because there's just nothing. You don't like a lot of games. I know a lot of y'all say you don't like the games that are available or something like that, and older games are much better. And there's so many of us out there that's playing a backlog of games. So, you got the PS3 backlog, you got the Xbox 360, which is, and I understand the Xbox 360 and the Xbox and Microsoft is whatever. I get it, I still play games on my Xbox, my Xbox Series X. But, I could get rid of it. But, for a guy like me who plays casually, it don't really bother me. I could, my Xbox Series X is a good 4K player. Because I like to watch movies, when I get spare time. So, now it's a good, 4K Blu-ray player. You know what I mean? So, I'll get my use out of it. So, and I like having the disc. Yeah, are you guys excited about that Resident Evil 9 like me? But I'll be honest with you. I'm going to buy it. I already got it pre-ordered. But I technically can wait because I got a game I'm almost got done. I just beat 2 games in my backlog. I got a lot of games still in the backlog to play. Why I'm sharing this video, which is there's ways you can save money if you can have patience. I already got mine pre-ordered, but you can still cancel your pre-order. You see what I mean? Because you can just cancel your pre-order. So what I'm saying is, it depends on how bad you want to play that game. Now, if you want to play that game like as soon as you get it, it makes common sense. It makes sense. My biggest problem is with games is a lot of times I see something and I get excited about the gameplay and I want to play it, and I say to myself, "You just bought that game, and you got all these other games back here. You got some that you're in the middle of. Technically, you really should not buy that game." So, but at the end of the day, this video is about the cost of video games and how much are you willing to pay, and how often do you buy video games? Because a lot of times you don't buy video games that much. Some people say that a lot of video games are coming out this year. They probably are, but there might be a lot of video games that you're just not going to buy. So if you buy 1 or 2 video games, let's just say you buy 2 video games in 2026. So, 69, let's just say 70 is 140. So you're going to drop about $156 for tax. You're going to drop about $156 for just 2 video games. That's just for the year of 2026. So, yeah. Because some of y'all ain't going to buy that many video games, you know. If you really look at how many video games you buy, it's not a lot. So if you look at the price, and you really want the game, I personally, I could justify dropping some change for a game that I want. Like, for instance, let's just say hypothetically, if Resident Evil 9 was $80, thank God it's not. But if it was $80, I would be like, well, you know what? I got these other games back here I need to play. I even got the other Resident Evil with the Lady Demetrius. I ain't even played that one yet. So, technically you shouldn't even buy it if it was $80. You see what I mean? Because I want to play that game and I need to play it. But I already pre-ordered this game. But this whole video is about how much are you willing to pay? How many video games do you buy a year? I don't really think you guys buy that many video games in a year. I really don't. If you buy 2 video games and they're like $70 a pop, that's $150 something technically that you're spending for the year of 2026. When you look back and you sit back and look at your backlog, because there are a lot of backlog games that are still entertaining to you, you just ain't got around to them. You know what I mean? Because why? Because life gets in the way. Life gets in the way because you have a job. I work my factory job, and sometimes I work Saturday, and then I work out 4 days a week, and then I study God's word in the morning, and I'm pretty, I do cardio on my day off. I got to keep this apartment clean, so there's only so many hours in the day that you have left. So you don't play video games like you did when you was once young. Now for me, I didn't have that nostalgia because of my age. I came to the video game late. I was just watching my boys play, and then as they went home every other weekend, they came down every other weekend. I bought them consoles. I said, they stay here. You come home, you come down here every other weekend, they will be here. You ain't taking that to your mom. So, and I would watch them play, and then I kind of got interested in it. And then, work and people that you meet would tell you about games, and it kind of turned me on to it. So, I don't have that. I'm not that. Oh, I played this video game 15, 20 years ago, and I like it. No, I just, mine started with Gears of War and Resistance Fall of Man. But, so yeah, because I wanted to play, I love Gears of War, the first one, and Resistance, the Fall of Man. I like all the Resistance. I just never finished 3. See, there you go. I haven't finished 3 yet. I still want to play 2. Even though I beat 2 a long time ago, I just lost that disc and I bought a brand new one. And I got my PS3 I need to play that game. So, to sum this up, how many video games do you play? And how many video games do you buy a year? Think about that. Now, if you say you buy 6 or 7 video games, and you're dropping a chunk of change, and if you're not beating those games and you're not going through them, then what's the point? Now, if you're one of those guys that come home and you spend 2 or 3 hours a day on a video game and you blow through them, because I know there's people like that, I ain't one of them. I don't have that kind of time. Then yeah, I could see you justifying that. But if you just, like me, I can't think of the other guy. There's another game I might buy this year, but I don't really think there's anything coming down the pipe. You know what I mean? But that Resident Evil 9, I already got it locked in, pre-ordered, and all that. So I just, it is what it is. But technically, I don't really have to buy that. And technically, I still got time to, cancel the pre-order. So, and if I just buy that game this year and that's all the game I bought, then I only bought $69.99. So what you gonna pay, like $73 and some change or something like that? By the time you pay Uncle Sam taxes and all that kind of stuff, or whatever you pay. You know how it is when you ring something up. It ain't $69.99. It's always 70 something. If you get the deluxe edition. So anyway, I just thought I'd drop the video. I was thinking about this at work, and then I was like, because I guess what I'm trying to say, if I truly wanted the video game truly bad, like they're talking about that GTA 6 is $100, which I don't know if it's going to be. Let's just say hypothetically it's $100, right? if it's $100, and I was one of those type of people that really wanted that game, I would go out and get it. Yep, I would drop my $100. I complain, but I would drop my $100. And you better bet I'm going to sit there and play that game. I'm not into GTA at all. I've never got into that, but I can understand the hype for it. So, what I'm saying is that if I really like that game, and if a game was, $80, you got two options. You can buy it then, or you can wait 9 months later and get it as a sale. So you have one of the other options that you can choose. So there you go. All right, we'll catch you in the next video. God bless.